No bag, no jumper, no skill. That's all Giannis Antetokounmpo heard through his first 7 seasons in the NBA. James Harden went out of his way to say what Giannis does takes no skill. He was labeled as the run and dunk man, and in this era, the consensus is that you will not succeed if you can't shoot. It seemed as though everybody doubted Giannis, and there was only one way to shut them all up: win. The Freak poured everything he had into the 2021 season, annihilating the Heat, outdueling KD in a series for the ages, and then he damn near broke his leg against Atlanta in the Eastern Conference Finals, just to come back a week later against the Suns to perform some of the greatest athletic feats we've ever seen to capture his long-awaited championship. 2021 Giannis was not from this planet. He wasn't human. He was a freak. From the moment he was drafted, Giannis had the potential to become one of the premier players in the NBA, and in 2019, that moment had arrived. The man captured the MVP, finished second in DPOY, and carried his squad to a 60-win season as the top seed in the NBA. This dude was for real. Round 1 was a sweep, round 2 was a gentleman's sweep, and 2 games into the conference finals, it seemed to be light work. Up 2-0 on Kawhi and the Raptors. It's done. It's over. It's actually a Bucks collapse. Kawhi Leonard willed Toronto to victory as they won 4 straight to eliminate the Bucks, and just 18 days later, they were NBA champions. That could have easily been Giannis, but at that moment, he was stopped by the better man, which didn't happen too often the following season. The Freak came back in 2020 with something to prove. He wanted it all, and he damn near got it all. The dude won his second of back-to-back MVPs, was crowned Defensive Player of the Year, and yet again, the Bucks were the NBA's #1 seed, headed into the bubble. And yet again, it was another disaster. Milwaukee got smoked in a massive second-round upset to the 5th-seeded Miami Heat. Another glorious season from Giannis is overshadowed by his playoff demons. In 2021, the Freak was back dominating, but it was different this time around. His eyes weren't set on the MVP or the DPOY. They were set on a championship, and the goal was to conserve energy and stay healthy for the postseason, which completely blew up in his face near the end of the year. See, in a game against the Spurs on March 20th, Antetokounmpo reportedly injured his left knee, an injury that was kept quiet within the organization, despite Giannis missing 6 straight games because of it. He eventually made his return near the end of the season, but mentioned that he had lingering soreness that would come and go. It was a confusing injury, but with the playoffs right around the corner, there was no hesitation. He was gonna play, and considering they were facing off against the team that killed them last year, the Freak had all the motivation he needed. Miami absolutely humiliated the Bucks in the bubble. Now this was Milwaukee's chance at payback. So in game 1, Giannis cranked the Heat all the way up.
Here is Giannis creeping into the lane for the percent for 3 this season. It's Middleton leads for Giannis.
Absolutely.
Giannis sheds the defender and is battling. Loose ball. Antetokounmpo, as Hubie said, led the league in steals this year. Giannis flies in to rock the rim.
7 dunks in this game alone. The man feasted for 26 points, 18 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. This was personal. Game 2 was just an old-fashioned ass whooping. Giannis got freaky for 31, 13, 6, and 3 in a 34-point blitz to go up 2-0. And Game 3 was utter dominance by the Bucks yet again, with a 29-point demolition to embarrass their rival on their home court. But in Game 4, Miami put up a better fight, losing by 17 points. The Bucks were playing with fire as Giannis finished the night with a clean 20, 12, and 15 triple-double to finalize his revenge. The Freak extinguished the heat, and now an offensive behemoth awaits him in the second round. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. One of the greatest ensembles of offensive talent the league has ever seen was awaiting the Bucks in round 2. It's gonna take a Herculean effort from Giannis to get past these nets, and maybe a little bit of luck too. See, just seconds into game 1, Harden strained his hamstring, an injury that would put him out until game 5. Milwaukee caught a break, but that doesn't mean it's gonna be easy. KD and Kyrie went off for 54 points to take game 1, and game 2 proved to be a serious wake-up call for the Bucks. An ugly 39-point defeat put them down 2 games to none. And with Giannis' history of playoff collapses, it looks like this will be another one added to the list. So headed back home knowing what was at stake with an 0-3 deficit on the line, Giannis took a step back, allowing the Freak to take over.
And here comes Antetokounmpo. Drives hard and throws it down. Antetokounmpo drives, finishes, and the foul. 15 on the shot clock. Antetokounmpo knocks down the jumper. He's got 26. Tucker finds Antetokounmpo once again the slam. And Brooklyn needs timeout.
A freakish 33-14 night from Giannis had the crowd buzzing. Alongside a 35-15 nuke from Middleton, the Bucks squeezed out a 3-point win to get back in the series. And in game 4, the Nets kept falling like flies. At the midpoint of the second quarter, Kyrie lands on Giannis' foot, spraining his left ankle and putting him out for the rest of the series. The Bucks were given a golden opportunity. They can't pass this up, and Antetokounmpo made sure of it. Number 34 capitalized as he went for 34 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 dunks, including this massive swat in the fourth quarter that led to a thunderous fast break lob at the other end to tie this series at 2. Game 5 back on the road in Brooklyn was critical, and the Freak showed out with a copy-paste type of performance. 34-12 for the second game in a row. Unfortunately, the Slim Reaper was out for blood. KD went supernova for 49, 17, 10, 3, and 2 on 69.6% from the field. It took one of the all-time great playoff performances to beat Giannis and the Bucks, who now have the task of defending home court. With their playoff lives on the line, the Freak was activated as he went ballistic for 30 points and 17 boards, on top of Middleton's 38, 10, 5, and 5 masterpiece. Milwaukee's proving that this isn't the Bucks of the past. These guys aren't folding, and we're going 7. It was 2 ultra-elite offensive talents facing off with a trip to the Eastern Conference Finals on the line, and to say that the stars were shining bright would be an understatement. Giannis was a hot knife through butter, digging into his bag for a 15-point half, but KD was a flamethrower, igniting his home crowd with 20 in the first half. But the Freak wouldn't let that slide. In the third, he went Super Saiyan, flexing his god-level slashing ability. He was making slick moves out of the post and was hitting jumpers. Yes, he was that hot. Alongside an and-one slam to end the quarter with an emotionless look on his face, Giannis has his team up 1, headed into the fourth. Fast forward to the 2-minute mark and the man was coming up clutch, laying in the and-one to tie the game late. And it sent a surge of energy through Drew Holiday as he hit some massively clutch shots that gave the Bucks a 2-point lead with 6 seconds left.
All right, the Nets looking to inbound. Jeff Green gets it into Durant. Here is Durant moving on Tucker. He turns, he shoots.
That shot gave KD 48 points on the night, and upon review, it's a 2. Thank God. We're going to OT, where Milwaukee won an absolute slugfest, outscoring the Nets 6-2 to win Game 7 in a series for the ages. Giannis came through big time with a monster 40-point, 13 rebound, and 5 assist stat line. He was a one-man wrecking crew. The dude has finally shown up in the playoffs when his team needed him most, as they're off to face a wild card in the conference finals. Yeah, that's not a typo. A high-flying Atlanta Hawks squad led by Trae Young are shockingly in the Eastern Conference Finals, while Giannis and the Bucks are back for the first time since 2019, hoping to flip the script. Except Game 1 brought back some bad memories. Despite Giannis exploding for 34, 12, 9, 2 and 2, he was outdueled by Ice Trae, who went berserk for 48 points, 7 boards, and 11 dimes as Atlanta pulls off the Game 1 upset. That loss was not taken lightly, as the Bucks responded with a 34-point uppercut to tie the series. On the road in Atlanta, the Greek Freak was prepared for showtime, putting his entire arsenal on display as he took off for 33, 11, and 4 on 61.9% accuracy. Yet the Bucks are entering the fourth, down 2. Giannis needs a hand, and he got more than that. Chris Middleton went unconscious for 20 points in the fourth quarter, outscoring the entire Hawks team en route to a 2-1 series lead. With Giannis and Middleton playing like this, a trip to the NBA Finals is inevitable. That was until Milwaukee's season flashed right before their eyes.
Around Middleton. Oh, he was trying to lob to Capella, but the ball went in.
And someone's down. And it looks like it's Giannis grabbing that that left knee. Oh no. This is something you absolutely don't want to see.
At the midpoint of the third quarter in Game 4, Giannis suffered a gruesome hyperextension to his left knee as he goes down in agonizing pain. And must I remind you that it's the same knee that had him out for a handful of games late in the regular season. He managed to hobble his way off the court, but this looks serious. He might be out for the rest of the playoffs. And to add insult to injury, the Bucks lost, and this series is tied at 2. Giannis was ruled out of a crucial Game 5 back at home, but thankfully, Milwaukee rallied with a full team effort to win by 11 and get within 1 win of the finals. Now back in enemy territory, still without their franchise superstar, the Bucks once again provided backup. Holiday and Middleton put the team on their back, dominating in every facet of the game to book their ticket to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1974. But the question remains, will Giannis play? The answer is yes. With an injury that even Giannis thought would have him out for over a year, he was back just a week later, healthy and ready to leave it all out there against a loaded Suns team that killed the West on their way to the finals, with Game 1 taking us to the Valley of the Sun. Fresh off the injury, Giannis looked good, throwing down 2 slams in an 8-point first quarter. That was basically it though. Phoenix proved to be too much as they pulled out a 13-point win to draw first blood. Post-game, Giannis said that he felt no pain and was feeling good, which can only mean one thing: 34 was about to go to war.
Antetokounmpo with the strong finish.
Two invaders in the game. Middleton. Antetokounmpo right on cue with the rejection. Middleton. His runner won't go. And Antetokounmpo with the foul.
3 slams and a disrespectful block on CP3 in just the first alone. Giannis was scorching. but after a second quarter that put them down 11 at half, he ran it back up. The man somehow clicked it into another gear with a 30-point second half masterclass. It was the definition of dominance, the definition of unguardable, as he snapped for 42 points, 12 rebounds, 4 dimes, and 3 blocks. Now get this, they lost by double digits. For the second time this postseason, Milwaukee is down 0-2. But these Bucks are supposed to be different, right? Back at home in what is essentially a do-or-die Game 3, Milwaukee needed a hero, but what they got was a freak.
Antetokounmpo sidestep, layup, got it! Antetokounmpo looking to go one-on-one, drives past Bridges, gets past him inside for the slam. Shot won't go, gets the rebound, back up, banks it in, and a foul! Way short on the three, Tucker grabs it, back to Antetokounmpo, and the Bucks regain the lead.
You want to talk about a man amongst boys? You just saw it. The Freak terrorized the Suns with 41, 13, and 6 on 60% shooting to drop consecutive 40-point finals games for the first time since LeBron in 2016. Giannis was in another universe. Through injury and all, he was getting it done. But he couldn't rest just yet, because in Game 4, Milwaukee is now trying to avoid going down 3-1. And this one was a roller coaster. The Suns and Bucks were throwing haymakers at each other all night long as Phoenix came out ahead, taking a 6-point lead into the fourth quarter, where Giannis's Robin came through once again. Middleton lit it up for 14 in the frame to give him 40 on the night. Yet they're only up 2 and Phoenix has the ball with just over a minute to go. The difference between being tied 2-2 or going down 3-1 in the series comes down to this possession.
Now Booker with Tucker on him, throws it up. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo! What a block from Giannis!
Oh my goodness. As if he was superhuman, Giannis guards Booker's drive, then leaps from one side of the paint to the other to stuff DeAndre Ayton at the rim for one of the greatest blocks you will ever see. Through sheer brute force, Giannis and his boys have tied this series at 2 games apiece. It was Game 5 back in Phoenix, and in the same way the series has gone, the momentum was swinging violently. The Suns came out scorching, taking a 16-point lead at the end of the first. Then Milwaukee swung back with a 43-point second quarter to go up 3 at half, followed by a Bucks uppercut as they go up 10, headed into the final frame, where Giannis went to work. He kicked it off with a 2-handed putback off the Tucker miss. He then tosses an insane floater high off the glass and follows it up by sliding past Ayton on a backhanded finish for the and one. But Devin Booker didn't get rattled. He knocked down some huge jumpers to get Phoenix within 1 with just over 20 seconds remaining. D-Book has the ball once again, and the crowd is roaring.
Booker the drive, gets inside, leans in, knocked away and stolen by Holiday. Phoenix has to foul. Antetokounmpo throws it down, and a foul. Giannis on the alley-oop. What a turnaround!
The ultimate silencer. Holiday rips Booker, goes the length of the court, tosses it up to the Freak, who flushes the 2-handed lob while getting 2-handed shoved by Chris Paul for the and one as he stares right into your soul. That shit sent shivers down my spine. The man was possessed. And that would do it. We're headed back to Milwaukee, 1 win away from a championship. Nearly 2 weeks ago, the Bucks were down 2-0 in the series. The deck was stacked against them. Another playoff disappointment seemed inevitable, but fast forward 12 days and we're in Milwaukee, just 48 minutes away from a possible championship. Giannis understood the magnitude of this moment, and he let the world know just seconds into the game.
Monty Williams says Mikal Bridges running the floor. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. Once again comes out of nowhere and throws it off the backboard. Giannis down the other end. He banks it home.
A LeBron-esque chase down block on Mikal Bridges 45 seconds into the game is just flat out disrespectful. And then he proceeds to go down and score at the other end. It was insane, and that's exactly what this dude was, exploding for 10 points and 6 rebounds in the first quarter. Phoenix was daring him to shoot, but Giannis just used that space to gain speed and finish at the cup. He was quite honestly unguardable, yet somehow, they're down 5 at half. Things are getting a little scary. Or freaky.
Giannis tries a three. It's good. Crowder gets inside. Banker won't go. The rebound. Back up and in. 5, one of the best games of his life. Antetokounmpo gets the roll. Count it and one. Backs in. Leans. Pulls up. Jump shot. Got it. Giannis Antetokounmpo dominating right now. He is putting on
a 20-point third quarter nuke was exactly what Milwaukee needed, as they headed into the final frame, all tied up. And the dude didn't slow down either. He swats Booker's scoop shot right out of the sky. Moments later, he taps home a putback to go up 4, then stuffs Booker's shot again for his 5th block of the night. He was taking over the game, and just when you thought it couldn't get crazier, he does this.
Middleton inside, nice entry pass, and the slam from Antetokounmpo.
Giannis sent 3 Suns into the shadow realm. I mean, who else is posterizing 3 dudes in the 4th quarter of a closeout finals game? He is a 1 of 1. Fast forward to clutch time and he was still rolling, with a beautiful finish around Ayton, and then with 2 to go, he catches a push shot to go up 8 and seal the performance of a lifetime. 50 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocks on 64% shooting from the field, tying him for first for the most points scored in a championship clinching game in NBA history. It was a masterpiece for the ages. Throughout his career, all Giannis ever heard was that he had no bag, no jumper, no skill. Well, he's got 50. What are they gonna say now?
And Toronto has won! They advance, winning on the road in the Game 6 for the first time.
Milwaukee, Kevin, just cannot get over the hump. It's been since 2001 since they have won a playoff series. They're expecting big changes.
24 seasons in the making. The Toronto Raptors are headed to their first NBA Finals.
The Milwaukee Bucks lose. The best team in the NBA is gone.
It's over. The Bucks have done it. The long wait has ended after a half century. The Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions once again. This extraordinary story of this extraordinary young man gives him his NBA title. The Greek Freak is a Greek NBA champion.